Hello and welcome to the Past Functional Skills video solutions for the Edexcel Functional Skills English Level 2 Reading Practice Paper 6. Before watching this video, please make sure that you've read the 3 sources in the insert and you've attempted to complete the paper yourself. Question 1. Your friend wants to know where the water coolers can be found in the college. Using text A, identify 2 places where the water coolers can be found. So here we want to look at text A and find 2 places, 2 locations where there are water coolers. So we're going to scan the text for any mentions of water coolers here. And if you have a quick look through, you'll see that water coolers are mentioned here in paragraph 3. 3 water coolers in accessible spots near classrooms. So that's one location. And then at the end of paragraph 4, it says water coolers will be conveniently sited near each till in the cafeteria. So there's 2 places to find water coolers in accessible spots near classrooms, near each till in the cafeteria, and the student has helpfully used quotations to show the examiner that they are talking directly about the text. Question 2. Which word best describes the style of text A? Is it irritated, apologetic, impartial, or optimistic? So here we're looking at the style of the text. The style of a text is sort of the overall feel of it. So what kind of impression it gives to the reader overall. So does the text come across as irritated? That means exasperated or annoyed. Well, no, it definitely doesn't suggest that they are annoyed. It's quite optimistic. It says thank you, and it's definitely not an irritated style whatsoever. B, apologetic. Apologetic would mean that they're apologising, saying sorry. Well, they're definitely not really apologising for anything. They're just telling us about these new environmentally friendly actions that they're taking. C, impartial. Now, impartial means balanced, neutral, or not picking a side. And in this text, they definitely are picking a side. They're saying that the changes are positive. So they're saying that it's a good thing that these changes have been made. And that's definitely not a neutral opinion there. Finally, optimistic. Now, this text is definitely an optimistic text, especially paragraph 5. We see these changes clearly demonstrate we're taking important action against the major issues. And the changes are positive, we can all make a difference, and it's all very positive and very optimistic about the future. Question 3. Which 2 of these quotations from text A are examples of formal language? So here we want to find 2 of the following quotations from text A that are examples of formal language. Now, formal language is the kind of language that you would hear on the TV from a newsreader, for example, or in the Houses of Parliament. Just very formal, professional language that you probably wouldn't use with friends and family. Informal language, in contrast, you would use informal language with people that are in your inner circle, friends, family, acquaintances. So, A, a massive thank you. Well, that's definitely informal. How do we know this? Well, that word massive there, it's a particularly informal phrase and it's very much exaggerating the thanks there. B, proud to announce. Now that is formal. You would definitely hear that kind of thing in a formal environment. Proud to announce the opening of our new building, that sort of thing. So that is an example of formal language. C, extending our menu. Extending is a particularly sophisticated word there, and that means that this phrase is formal. We haven't got any uses of slang in there or any colloquial informal language. D, a doddle to complete. Now, a doddle is very, very informal. You definitely wouldn't use that in a professional environment. it is a colloquial phrase, a slang phrase. So that's informal. And then finally, feel free to tweet us. Now, feel free, that's also quite a colloquial phrase, sort of slang, that you wouldn't use in something like a formal letter. So the correct answers here, the most formal of these options, are extending our menu and proud to announce. Question 4. You've been asked to add subheadings to each paragraph in text A. Number each subheading from 1 to 5 to show which best matches each paragraph. 2 have been done for you. So here we've been given some subheadings over here, and we have to assign these subheadings to each paragraph in text A. Now, helpfully, text A is labelled with numbers, so all we need to do is we need to look through each paragraph and see which subheading would fit the best. What is each paragraph telling us? So, cafeteria updates, which paragraph is telling us about that? Updates to the cafeteria. Well, we see here that they are extending the menu in the cafeteria and removing single-use cutlery, and they're adding water coolers. So they're changes to the cafeteria. So yeah, cafeteria updates, paragraph 4. What you've told us. So we have to look for examples of what the students have said. And we see in paragraph 1 that there is a bit about an online survey, but it doesn't really tell us what the students said. It's paragraph 2 where we see what the students have said here. We have received a fantastic response indicating many options for improvement. The main message from the survey: you want the college to become more environmentally friendly. So that is what the students have told them, that they want the college to become more environmentally friendly. Paragraph 2. Subheading 3, why we're doing this. Now this aligns with paragraph number 5, which tells the reader why they are taking these changes, because it's an important action against major issues like wildlife extinction and scarce water resources. So that's why they're doing that. A free resource. Now we've got to look for any mentions of resources being free. Well, it is saying that they are installing free water coolers. So that is a free resource there. And finally, you still have time. So it says here that you still have time. The survey will remain open until the end of the month, which means that you've still got time to answer the survey. So final one, you still have time, would be paragraph 1. So essentially for this question, you've just got to read through the text carefully and identify what each paragraph is telling us. Question 5. What does each of these quotations from text B suggest about helping the environment? So here we need to look at the quotations from text B and we need to find out what they suggest about helping the environment. So we need to make an inference from the text here. We need to think about what they are suggesting. So a losing battle. Now if they're losing the battle, it suggests that people are trying to help the environment but they're not succeeding. So in the context of text B, which is about helping the environment, a losing battle would suggest that people are trying but failing because they're battling it but they are losing. And a global push. Now this suggests people all over the world are trying to help the environment. We know this based on the context of text B. It's all about trying to help the environment, cleaning up beaches, that kind of thing. So a global push, global, all around the world, and push, they're trying really hard. So they're trying to help the environment. Question 6. Text B includes both facts and opinions. Which one of these statements is a fact? So here we need to identify one of the following statements that is a fact, not an opinion. And there's just one of these. So, option A, children love litter picking on the beach. Well, that is not a fact because we can disagree with it. So opinions are thoughts or feelings that we can disagree with. And this word love here suggests an emotion, which suggests it's an opinion, it's a feeling. So that's an opinion, not a fact. B, Pam wants more people to join the group. Well, yes, we can see from the text that she definitely does want more people to join. She mentions in the final paragraph here that if everybody who visited the beach conducted a 2-minute beach clean, the results would be amazing. We're always looking for more people. So that is a fact that we can see in the text. C, graffiti on buildings and the beach is ugly. So again, we've got that emotional word here, ugly. That's someone's opinion. We could disagree that the beach is ugly. So that is an opinion there, not a fact. And D, people should be challenged for dropping litter. Now, anything that says should be, that's probably going to be an opinion. It's something that we can disagree with. We can think, well, people shouldn't be challenged for dropping litter. They should just be able to do what they want. Question 7. Part A. According to text B, what is the name of Pam's group? So we need to find the name of the group. And if we have a look, we can see here that it is called Pam's Beach Clean Team. So that's correct. And then we've got to identify the organisational feature that is used to present this information. So an organisational feature is something about, it shows you how the text is organised. It includes things like subheadings, paragraphs, bullet points, that sort of thing. And here we have, under a photo, we've got this caption here that tells us. So the answer here is a caption. Question 8, Part A. Using text B, identify 2 ways people behave that cause problems for litter pickers. So we need to find 2 ways people behave, 2 behaviours that are causing problems for litter pickers based on text B. So if we scan through the text, we can see that people don't take their litter home with them, they don't use the bins, and they spray graffiti on rocks and beach cafe exteriors. So they don't take their litter home and spray graffiti on rocks. And then part B, using text B, identify 2 things that encourage Pam's group in its work. So positive things that are encouraging them to work. So if we have a look at the text, we can see that they remain positive because they are one of many similar groups. So that is encouraging them. There's a global push taking place, that's definitely encouraging as well. And technology makes it easier to see what other groups are doing. So they're being motivated by other groups who they can see using technology. And then they go on to say that children are quite happy to help out to assist in collecting litter. That's another encouraging sign there. So there are many similar groups globally that are helping to reduce littering. We can see that from the text. That's encouraging the group. And children are interested in collecting litter. Question 9. Using text C, give 2 quotations that suggest helping the environment can also save people money. So here we're going to be looking at text C, and we need to find 2 quotations from the text that link helping the environment to saving money. So if we scan through the text for any mentions of money, the entire thing is mainly about the environment. So looking for any references to money, cost, economy, finance, saving, that's what we want to be looking for. And we can see in the second paragraph here that thanks to the popularity of swap shops, there's now a way to get your fashion fix without contributing to landfill and without spending a penny. So that is a mention of money there. So these swap shops are free. And then if we keep scanning, we can see that grocery shopping online eliminates costly car trips. So that word costly there. And then it also says that requesting no bags is not only more eco-friendly, but it also cuts costs. So that's linking the environment to money again. And then buy only what you really need. Again, that will help you to save money. So there's lots of different options that you could put down here. And the students identified the following direct quotations from the text. They've put quotation marks to show that it's a quote, without having to spend a penny, and eliminates costly car trips. Question 10. Using text C, identify 2 language features used to persuade people to help the environment. Give an example to support each answer. So here we're looking at text C, and we want to find 2 language features that are persuading people to help the environment. And we need to give an example of each. So we need to give quotations from the text to support each answer, to show that the language features are being used in the text. So here the student has identified a rhetorical question. Are you asking yourself what you could possibly do to help save the environment? So that's a rhetorical question. It's a question that doesn't really need an answer, and it's used to try and persuade people to help save the environment. And then we've got alliteration used in this term here, fashion fix. So that use of F twice there, that is alliteration, creates a sound, a repeated sound of that F there, fashion fix. So they've correctly identified 2 language features and given valid examples for each one. Now, if you didn't know what a rhetorical question or alliteration was, you could choose another language feature. Just make sure that you know what the language feature you're choosing is, so that you can choose an appropriate quotation. Question 11. Which one of these quotations from text C shows that the writer has a positive view about how easy it is to help the environment? So here we're going to look at text C, and we're going to look at the quotations here. And we only want to select one of them. And we need to find the one that shows that the writer has a positive view about how easy it is to help the environment. So they think that it is very easy to help the environment. So the first option, while eating a vegan diet isn't appropriate for everyone. Now that's quite a negative view there, not a positive one. It suggests that it's not appropriate for everyone to eat a vegan diet. It's difficult to help the environment. B, more aware of how your actions impact the environment. Well, no, that's not giving any particular positive view. It's not suggesting that it is easy. It doesn't use any words that mean the same as the word easy. C, avoid purchasing products with superfluous packaging. Well, that is telling us how to help the environment, but it is not saying that it's easy to do so. And finally, D, the honest answer is simply to change your daily habits. Now, this is a positive view about how easy it is to help the environment. And the reason that we know this is because they've focused on how easy it is. They've said that it's simply to change your daily habits, suggesting that it's very easy to do. Question 12. You may use a dictionary to answer this question. Part A. The main message to emerge from this survey. Give one word or phrase to replace emerge that keeps the meaning of this quotation from text A the same. So here we're being asked to use a dictionary and read this quotation here. And then we want to replace the word emerge in the quotation, but keep the meaning the same. So that means that we need to get our dictionary and find a word that means the same as emerge. And if we look in the dictionary, it can mean arise. To rise or come forth, into view or notice, come from or appear. So emerge means the same as arise. And if we put arise in this quotation here, it wouldn't change the meaning. Part B, avoid purchasing products with superfluous packaging. And we want to replace superfluous this time, but keep the meaning the same. So if we look in the dictionary, we can see that superfluous means unnecessary. It means being more than is sufficient or required. It is excessive, unnecessary, or needless. So here the student has used a word from the dictionary definition, unnecessary, and that means exactly the same as superfluous here. Question 13. Compare similar ideas from text A and text C about ways in which people can be more environmentally friendly. In your answer, you should give 2 similarities from these texts about how people can be more environmentally friendly, and then you should give 1 quotation from text A and 1 quotation from text C to support each similarity. So this is quite a detailed question, and it's got a lot of marks attached to it. So we get 2 marks for giving 2 similarities between text A and text C. So we're not talking about text B here at all. So we need to give 2 similarities specifically about how people can be more environmentally friendly. So we're focusing on that topic in this question. Don't be writing about anything else. Focus on how people can be more environmentally friendly. And we are using similarities only, so we're not looking for any differences, we're just comparing similar ideas. And once we've identified these 2 similarities, we have to be giving quotations from the text to support them. So because we've got 2 similarities, we want to give a quotation from each text for each similarity. So for each similarity, we want 1 quotation from text A and 1 from text C. So that's 4 quotations in total, 1 to support each similarity from each of the texts. So let's take a look at an answer to this question. Both text A and text C mention that people should reuse bottles. Text A says that the college will sell reusable water bottles to be more environmentally friendly, and text C says that reusable bottles for water is a far more environmentally friendly option. So what makes this a good start to this answer? Well, we have a comparative word, we've got both, and this shows the examiner that you are identifying a similarity between the texts. We've then got a mention of both of the texts, so text A and text C. So we're addressing both of the text and we are comparing. And then we have a similarity. So in our own words, we've given a similarity mentioning that people should reuse bottles. So text A is saying that the college will only sell reusable water bottles. So we've got our first quotation from text A there. And then we've got text C saying that reusable bottles is a far more friendly, environmentally friendly option. So we have 2 quotations, very similar ones, comparing similar ideas here about these water bottles, and we've identified a relevant similarity and provided reasonable evidence from each of the texts, from text A and text C, to support this. So make sure that you're using quotations in your answers, and you need to be putting quotation marks around these, so these little markers here to show that it's a quotation. So that is the first similarity complete. So for this, so far, we would be getting 3 out of the total 6 marks for this question. So this next part will give us the last 3 marks, so for 6 marks in total. And again, we have this comparative word, both. Both texts suggest that people should use less packaging. So we're looking at being more environmentally friendly again, and they've mentioned here in their answer to be more environmentally friendly. So it's good to use the wording of the question to show the examiner that you really know what you're talking about and you are directly answering this question. And then we've got evidence from text A and text C in the form of 2 relevant quotations. So using less packaging, no longer using plastic bags, and avoid purchasing products with superfluous packaging. So superfluous meaning too much there, unnecessary packaging. So we've got two relevant quotations that support this point about less packaging. And we focused on being more environmentally friendly throughout the answer here. We've got great comparisons between the texts and we've got relevant quotations. So 6 marks overall for this answer. Question 14. Which one of these statements about the language used in text A and text B is correct? Both use humour to highlight their points. Both use first person to share their ideas. Both use direct address to target the reader. And both use questions to create more interest. So we have to look at the language use here. These are examples of the language use. We've got some language techniques identified here: humour, first person, direct address and questions. And we want to find what is used in both text A and text B. So it has to be used in both texts. So is humour used in both of the texts? Well, no. Humour means that the text is funny, and neither of the texts try to be particularly funny or humorous. Text A here doesn't include any jokes, no humour there, no puns, and text B doesn't include any either. It's all quite formal language. So they don't use humour. Are they using first person? Well, yes, they've got a use of the word I, us, we throughout the text. So that means that they are definitely using first person, I've, me, that kind of thing. And we're also looking for that in text A, and it is definitely mentioned in text A as well. Definitely written in first person. We is used throughout the text. Option C, both use direct address to target the reader. Well, no, they don't. Direct address is the use of words like you and your to directly speak to the reader. And that is used in text A, but it's not used in text B at all. And finally, both use questions to create more interest. Now, questions are quite easy to scan for because we just have to look for question marks. And if you look through the text, you'll see that questions are used in text A, but they are not used in text B. So that is incorrect. The only language technique out of these ones that is used in both texts is first person. Question 15. Your friend is interested in how animals and birds are affected by environmental issues. Identify one piece of evidence from each of the 3 texts that shows animals and birds are affected by environmental issues. So here we need to find evidence. That means quotations from each of the 3 texts, so text A, B and C, and we need to show that animals and birds are being affected by environmental issues. So we're going to scan through the text and look for any mentions of animals or birds or similar keywords that are going to tell us that that is the topic we're talking about. And we want to specifically focus on the environmental issues that are affecting them. So the harm that environmental issues are causing to the animals and plants and birds, sorry. Okay, so we've got potential wildlife extinction. That is a very good quotation from text A. We're talking about wildlife and it is an environmental issue. They are going extinct, dying out. So text B, causing serious harm to seabirds. Well, we've definitely got them affected by environmental issues there. Harm is being caused to them and they are seabirds, they are birds. And then text C, endangered species. So endangered, again, similar to extinction, they are dying out. The animals are dying due to the environmental issues. So these are all very good quotations from each of the texts here. that show us that animals and birds are affected by environmental issues.